all that. But first, we're gonna start with some pickups. I finally got it. I'm just gonna.
I don't believe you.
I'm gonna dive in first. Here
Show
it
me.
is.
Show me.
After like a year of waiting,
You got the black one. Nice.
I did get the black one. The Analogue 3D. Let me tell you, this thing is worth it.
Is it the real deal?
It's the real deal. Yeah, it is pretty epic. So, is it just a way to upscale your N64 games to 4K and play them? Yes. Are you playing your original cartridges? Yes. Is it emulation? Kinda. Now, I will say, first of all, the device itself is awesome. It's very sleek, matte black, analog. Packaging was fantastic. Yes, they delay their projects and it takes a while, but when you get them, they are premium. This thing is super nice. Just USB in the back. You've got a couple there. SD card. I had to go to a website, download some firmware to get it going. But other than that, man, it's pretty much plug and play. I mean, you're playing, and the cool thing about it is upscaling or overclocking. Overclocking is the big, to me, selling point as to why you would want this device specifically over maybe even something like emulation. The first game I popped in was Wave Race, which is like, my favorite N64 game.
And I was like, that for you.
For sure.
I would have guessed.
And it's one of those things where some games, emulation, if you want like the best experience, might still be the way to go. Because like when you play on the Switch Online, which is just like playing like on RetroArch or any of these other emulators, Wave Race is better. It looks better because it is being internally upscaled. This does not internal upscale like emulation does.
Yep.
It is still more like the fuzzy pixel graphics that taking that like whatever 480i or 360 image, and it can produce it to 4K. So, having said that, the image you do get out of it is very clean, very crisp, very nice. You do have some options. There's a few scanline options you have. It can replicate like a BVM, a PVM, which is like broadcast video monitor, professional, and you can change like different CRT styles. Like, I want like more. I believe you can do like vertical or horizontal scan lines, and you can also obviously just go to like a clean image. There's like a de-blur and some of those things. The overclocking, though, is still the reason to get this, because even compared to software emulation, where you can do some messing around with that, infinitely more accurate and almost zero issues I had with this. And so some games like Goldeneye, playing in overclock mode, it's like a totally different game. Right. I think it was, to me, it felt immediately better than even playing like a Switch Online or the Xbox version.
Yeah.
Of it, even though those can play in widescreen.
I'll officially take back what I said, and it's not my fault. I do blame Analogue for this because they didn't show any gameplay.
They showed none for a long time. It was ridiculous.
It honestly would have sold me if they showed the overclocking. If they showed overclocking, I would have been all in, because once I saw, I sent you those videos of the reviews, and I was like, it's just. They 4K.
Didn't even say that was a thing.
It's just 4K at this point. When they start the reviews, they're like, here's the PVM, here's BVM. Great. It's just transferring to 4K. Once they got to overclocking, my mind was blown. I could not believe how good that looked.
Oh, it's phenomenal. So some games you really don't notice the difference because maybe it's like locked, but there's less like stutter.
Right.
So
because they'll have like certain graphics or renders on uncertain.
And they have a few different overclocking options. There's like Unleash, which is just like pure, like that's like the max. But so some games, like I tried like NFL Quarterback Club. If you go to the max, it's like too fast, right? The game is, because it wasn't obviously designed to run like that. But if you dial it back a little bit, now the game is running much smoother than, not that you really want to play NFL Quarterback Club, but
no.
I mean, you have that option. And so another game like Aero Fighters Assault, which is kind of like an Ace Combat, game, that's another one I was very excited for the overclocking because it runs so sluggish normally. Right. It's one of those games that's nowhere near 30 FPS, but now I feel like it is like a solid, stable, feels so much smoother. That's the whole reason to get it.
I think you'll see a better performance with games that require 3D, like Star Fox, like those, they're built completely in 3D versus something that has like a texture map or something that has some kind of weird surface bitmap that they've applied to it. Those are going to render horribly.
Yeah.
But those like true 3D games, they're going to look beautiful.
Yeah, so everything I threw at it looked and felt great. And man, in some cases, it is better than emulation because even like a game like MRC, which is like Multi Racing Championship, it's just an arcade racer where you can play as different car styles, and there's like gravel roads and stuff like that. When you play it on emulation, it gets rid of some of the fog and stuff like that, and then you pop it in here, and even though it's a little like more blurry, I want to say, it's like a crisper version of it, and it just the feel is so different.
Right.
So it's huge. It is, yeah, to me, the N64 is like the reason I wanted an analog product.
I definitely, based on the filters or whatever they're using for the scan lines, I think the PVM was definitely the better of the scan lines. That's what I have here is a PVM, Sony PVM. I think it's a little bit better. But you have to have like a super trained eye to notice a difference.
Sure. The only other negative thing I noticed is, and I tried looking online, but nobody's talking about this, is I plugged it into, I don't have a 4K monitor, but I do have I have like a 1440p monitor, and it was going to 1080.
Upscales.
And it was going to 1080. So I don't know if it can do 1440p. I think it's either 1080 or 4K.
Interesting. That is weird.
So not that that's like the end of the world, really, but a little like, and I don't know. I mean, I tried, this is an ultra wide, so I thought that might be throwing it off. I threw it on my other portable monitor, which is a 16:10, so it might have been like an aspect ratio thing that was throwing it off. I have one other 14, like my old school 32-inch 1440p. I'm gonna hook it up to and see if, but otherwise, and what I saw online is nobody said anything about it. So I maybe it's just nobody's tried it, but I don't know. So I have not gotten a 1440p signal. It's either been 1080 or 4K.